AITA for how I reacted when my boyfriend told his daughter it's rude to talk about her
Let's
period at the
go.
dinner table. I, 41F, have a son, 13M, from a previous marriage. My boyfriend, 39M, have two daughters, 17F and 14F, from a previous marriage. We were all having dinner together. His older daughter mentioned that her face is breaking out because she's on her period. My boyfriend told her it's rude to talk about her period at the dinner table, and that now my son had probably lost his appetite. My son said he's fine, and he said she's pretty despite the breakouts. I told my boyfriend that in our family, we're okay with period talk. Later that night, my boyfriend said I made him look like a fool in front of his daughters. He said if this is going to work, we can't undermine each other in front of our respective kids. Am I the asshole? I just wish my daughter liked me. She's 14. Like the worst specimen of humans. 14-year-old girls are mean and just awful. I'm a single mom, no support from her dad, and I have done everything I can do for her. Private schools, brand name clothes, vacations. She seemed blue last night, so I bought her flowers. She said they didn't match her room and to take them away. She hates me. She hates my clothes, our home, my humor, my interests. And the thing is, I'm actually a really interesting person. I have had experiences that most folks haven't. I was a comic, a Shakespeare scholar, a high fashion shopper for rich people, a sushi chef. Like, I am proud of me, and this child does not give a shit. I am waiting on test results to let me know if I have cancer, and she hates my flowers. I'm just sad and needed to vent. Thanks for reading. Ada for telling my mom she shouldn't expect loyalty from a daughter she treats like a guest. I, F22, recently got into a huge argument with my mom that's torn the family apart. Background: I'm the only child from my mom's first marriage. She remarried when I was 10 and had two more kids with my stepdad. Ever since, I've felt like I've been pushed aside. They do family vacations without me. They go out for dinner without inviting me. Even on holidays, I get like a $30 gift card while my siblings, 10, 12, gets really expensive gifts. When I brought this up, she said I'm grown now and shouldn't expect the same treatment. Recently, my car broke down and I asked if she could help me pay for repairs, nothing major, like $350. She said no, they were saving for family things. So I just snapped and said, you shouldn't expect loyalty from a daughter you treat like a guest in her own home. Now she's saying I'm entitled and emotionally manipulative. My stepdad says I'm jealous and trying to guilt trip them. But my aunt took my side and said my mom has always played favorites. Ada for what I said. Ada wife spent the night at a friend's house. Advice needed. I'll keep this pretty simple. We're both in our 40s. Together 11 years, married for 8. About 2 or 3 years ago, my wife ran into her ex-boyfriend, whom she lived with previously. They chatted and caught up with her. To be clear, they were part of the same friend group before dating. They'd bump into each other about every few, and they'd chit-chat and catch up on things at a nearby diner. About 2 weeks ago, she hung out with him and his friends until 10 p.m., 5+ hours after she got off. She knew I did not like this. I don't think I'd be in the minority in this, but she has never given me reason to doubt her, and she doesn't have a deep bench of friends. Yesterday, they met up again after work. She checked in around 3 hours after they met up, letting me know was fine. I did my own thing at home until I basically just said fuck it and went to bed. I received the below text message at 1245 a.m. Her. Lost track of time. Gonna just go to work from here. Look, I trust my wife. She's never before given me reason not to. And I know the realization her previous friend group has moved on has hit her hard recent. Even given that I feel like I'm being gaslit and at a bare minimum this is extremely disrespectful. AITA? Am I an asshole? He got what he deserved, but I might have gotten him fired. We broke up after 3 years. It ended like most relationships do, slow, sad, messy. But what pushed me over the edge was finding out he was cheating and using my credit card behind my back. I didn't explode, I didn't call him out. I just quietly walked out of his life like a ghost. And then I started watching. He worked at a small tech company doing support, nothing glamorous. I remembered he used to brag about how lazy he could be and still get away with it because no one checks logs. So I made a new Gmail, fake name, pretended to be a pissed off client who noticed some weird stuff in the back end, sent a very detailed, very plausible email to the company's HR and compliance inbox, gave them just enough breadcrumbs that they had to investigate. 2 weeks later, he texted me out of the blue. LOL, just got laid off. Budget cuts, I guess. Sure. I didn't respond. Still won't. He still thinks I took the high road, and honestly, I did. Just not in the way he thinks. AITA for not waking up my roommate for his job interview because he's irresponsible. My roommate had a job interview he wouldn't stop talking about. The night before, he stayed up playing video games until 3 a.m. Apparently, he didn't set an alarm and told me, I'll wake up, don't worry. Spoiler, he didn't. I got up, saw him still asleep 30 minutes before his interview, and decided not to wake him. I figured if he can't handle setting an alarm for a life-changing opportunity, it's not my job to save him, and that he will need this as a lesson. He missed it and is blaming me for not having his back. I told him I'm his roommate, not his mom. Edit. Thank you for all the replies. It's my first time on this subreddit, and it's hard to keep up with the responses since I don't have much time at the moment. 3. AITA for telling my boyfriend he needs to stop comparing me to his ex or I'll act like her too. I, F22, have been dating my boyfriend, M27, for 9 months. We started living together after 7 months. Things were good, but lately he keeps bringing up his ex, not even in a still in love way, but in this weird you should be more like her way. Stuff like, my ex used to cook all the time, you should try it. My ex never wore makeup, it was refreshing. You don't need to pose so much. My ex was low-key. The final straw was when I dyed my hair and he said, that's bold. My ex always had natural hair and I loved that. I finally snapped and said, if you want your ex so badly, go back to her, or maybe I'll act like her and leave you first. He got quiet, called me dramatic, and said I need to stop being insecure and take the compliment as if comparing me to someone he chose to break up with is flattering. AITA, for being fed up with the constant comparisons. AITA for letting a guy get what he deserves and more. I, 24F, was in a club with a few friends, 22, 28. We had a few drinks and started to dance a bit more sexy. After a few minutes, I noticed a guy staring at me, and coming closer, I immediately danced a distance between us. After that, I start to focus on my friends and myself again. But it wasn't over. At one point, the guy, probably in his middle 20, stood behind me and made some really odd dance moves. At this point, I was really uncomfortable, and my friends noticed. They start to move me away from him and stood between us the whole time. In the club we were in, the bar is higher than the dance floor, and the dance floor is quite in the middle of the center. The bar and the dance floor are connected with stairs, like 3, 4 of them, and when we were near the stairs, because there were many people, I felt a hand on my ass and moving up to a specific part. At this point, I kind of knew who was behind me. My friends didn't notice how he touched me, but saw my expression. Nobody else saw what happened, and in my country, it was really hard to get justice for these kind of things. So my post-traumatic brain had the best idea. I turned around and looked at him in the eyes. I approached his face and said we should go somewhere private. This man really thought his method was effective. We got into a photo booth and I told him, wait right here. I will just make me a ponytail. I winked and looked at his legs. I thought this was enough karma, but oh boy, I saw my opportunity as a security guy walked in the hallway with the toilets and the photo booth. I said that there was a creepy man in there and he immediately looked inside. What I saw was priceless. This drunk man really pulled down his pants and waited for me. The security man started screaming at him and forced him to pull his pants up again. The drunk men, on the other hand, start to explain loudly that he was waiting for me and that she wanted me to do it. Because of the whole situation and the aftermath of the adrenaline of the re-traumatization, I felt sick and started to run to the toilet. The security guy saw that as a point of the drunk guy lying and called the police. The police got there and arrested the man for public exposure of his private parts. I told my friends what happened and they are proud of me, but one of my colleges said it was unfair for the guy because I made him do it. I'm a bit worried now that this whole mess is a misunderstanding and that I maybe overreacted, but still I feel a bit proud. So AITA, BTW English is not my first language and I am dyslexic, so please excuse my misspelling or wrong dot places. AITJ, I came into some unexpected money and I want to leave my life behind. I'm almost 23 years old. I've never met my father. He went on to have a whole other family and forgot I existed. My mother is mentally ill and abused me my whole childhood. The only person I ever thought was safe was my grandma, and she never was safe because she let me live in horrible conditions. My mother kicked me out a few weeks before my 18th birthday. My grandmother took me in, and it was then that I realized where my mother got her behavior from. I'm in therapy now, and it's made it difficult. I left her house when I turned 20, and I've been working my ass off 50 hours a week to barely pay the bills. I live in a high-cost area where the average studio apt is 2K. I live in a city now where I'm trapped by my past. No family anymore. Only one friend, who I love more than anything. I have nothing here for me. I work at a job where I'm treated incompetent all day. I got sexually assaulted by a teacher my freshman year of high school. I ended up suing the school system and now I have $100,000 sitting in my bank account while I stay in this town where I'm reminded of all the places I lived my worst horrors. I know it's not life-changing money, but I never thought I'd own that. I bought a new car. I feel so guilty and like it was a bad choice. Mine was old and on its last legs, but I feel like I don't deserve new things, nice things. I still feel stuck here for some reason. Even with this money, I still feel destined to fail. I want to go to New Orleans. I've been there many times. It feels like home to me. Could I just leave to there without a job lined up? Have 6 months aside for this move to give me breathing room? And heal? Or is that stupid eighthing room? And heal? Or is that stupid eighthing room? And heal? Or is that stupid expand circle? Or is that stupid AITA for not forcing my kids to play inside with my nephew? I am 38F. I have 4 kids ages 16M, 14M, 12M, and 3F. My sister, 35F, has 1 kid age 12M. I also have a brother, 30M, whose kids are 4M, 10M. After school, every day all of the kids come to my house until their parents get off of work. 3F isn't in preschool yet, so she is home all day, and 4M does half-days preschool. I pick him up at 12. I have a little fenced-in play area for the babies and spend most of my time there. When the kids all get off the bus, I normally have a snack ready, and then most of them go outside and find somewhere to play. My kids are pretty feral. 99% of the time they are headed straight for the woods to the fort. My brother's oldest usually does whatever my kids are up to. The issue is my sister's son. He does not like to be outside and mostly sits on the couch and either watches TV or plays on his phone. Every now and then he will go play with the others, but it's rare and he's back inside pretty quickly. He is just not an outside kid. Yesterday my nephew was upset because the others did not want to stay inside and watch a movie with him. He asked them and they all just wanted to go outside. When my sister came to pick him up, he told her the other kids wouldn't watch a movie with him and he didn't want to play what they were playing. So my sister is now upset and said all the other kids are excluding him and I should have made them stay with him instead. I told her my kids don't like to watch TV. They are working on their fort. There was a storm recently, so they're rebuilding it and enjoying being outside. If it were raining or something, sure, I could have made them come inside, but it was a nice day, so I'm not forcing 4 boys to stay in the house just because her kid wants to stay in the house. It was his decision not to go with them. They didn't say he couldn't. They asked him if he wanted to go. Well, now my sister and her husband are both upset and believe I'm allowing my children/nephew to exclude their son. IDK if I'm in a hole here, but I didn't feel like it was appropriate to force teenage/preteen boys to sit inside and watch a movie when they wanted to be outside. Don't want to sign the back of your credit. Have fun with that. So I worked at Big Yellow Tag Store back in the mid-90s US. Credit card companies had stricter rules for accepting credit cards, one of those being that the card had to be signed on the back. If it wasn't signed, we had to ask for ID, no exceptions. To set the scene, it was getting close to the end of a long shift, and I'd had more than my share of difficult customers. One of the cashiers in front of me was Keisha, and she didn't take crap from anyone. Customer comes through my line, pulls out his card to pay, and it's not signed. For ref, he's black and I'm not. I, of course, ask for ID, and he gets mad and starts telling me how it's wrong to ask, and I'm racist and asking because he's black. Well, I was just done for the day by that time. You don't want to show your ID? Fine. I looked right at him, picked up his stuff, and dropped it right in front of Keisha. No explanation needed because she'd heard him ranting already. He walks around to her side, mumbling under his breath, and gives me a look like he's saying, "That's right," and pulls out his card to pay. Keisha looks at his card, looks at him, and says, "Your card's not signed, I need to see your ID." He looks at me, I just smirked, looks at her and stutters, and was about to call her racist, can't because she's black too, and then finally just says, "That's not right, that's not fair." That look of defeat on his face was priceless.